people. I just wanted to talk about the subject of breatharianism and the link between breatharianism, fasting, and oxidative stress. Now, there have been some people for quite some time who've claimed that they can exist without food or provide a service from which people can use to achieve the state of breatharianism. Now, I've studied this subject for a long time, and not directly. It didn't start off as a direct place of interest for me. It actually started with other potentials of the human body that led me to understand breatharianism. My background in terms of who I am, I come from a family of medical professionals, doctors and nurses and things like that, which is the reason which was a spark in which I was interested in understanding more about the human body and its potential. What I found through my research was that these practices that are done for people to learn how to become a breatharian are just practices that was taken from the East, right? Various people throughout Asia have been using a tradition, a method that spans for thousands of years, that's a part of their religion and their belief system, that involves fasting, that involves deep breathing, meditation. And what you find in the West is people providing services that involve fasting, deep breathing, and meditation. But if the people in the East have been doing this for thousands of years, what can people in the West offer new, especially when they're using the same methods? Now, there are benefits to fasting, and overall, I personally do believe that breatharianism does exist. It is possible and it can be achieved. But the concept and the philosophy behind it, I personally think humbly that there's not enough data that allow people to fully grasp what it is that they're doing and to have success. What causes a state in which a person no longer requires food comes down to the person no longer requiring as much energy as he once did. Food is only used for energy. When people say addiction to food, this is a ridiculous base. There's not an addiction. There's a lack of efficiency in the use of food. Now, when one becomes more efficient in that use of food, eventually that person will naturally no longer need to use it. But it doesn't start from addiction. It starts from the misunderstanding of what the use of food is. So when yogis emphasis on fasting, the emphasis isn't so much upon the fact that they're not eating food and they're reaching this state. No, the emphasis is the response the body has to not eating food. And that response is a response where the body continuously wants to eat regardless of you not giving it outside nourishment. It will still try to nourish itself, and it does it in quite a violent way. It catabolizes or becomes almost like a cannibal and eats its own tissues. Now, how does it eat its own tissues? Well, the body uses oxygen as a way to burn the tissues to obtain the nutrients from it. So the body has to burn the tissue. And to burn tissue, burning again is the same as oxidation. The body burns the tissue to obtain the nutrients from it. But obviously when you see a person fasting, they're not spontaneously combusting. But what's happening is the body actually starts to gain a resistance. Why? Because there's a mechanism in the body called hormesis. Hormesis is the response to the exposure of stress. If the stress in the environment is too high, then the body will receive damage and no benefits. If the stress is too low, then there's going to be no response at all. But if the body receives stress at the appropriate dose, at a sweet spot, so to speak, then what happens is that the body can successfully overcome, because it wants to survive, It overcomes that stressful environment and becomes stronger. So your exposure to, for instance, lifting weights, the body gains more muscle because it's trying to overcome the stress of the weight. If it was too much weight, then it will cause damage to the body. Too little, you have no benefits. Same as exposure to thermal temperatures, like going inside of a sauna. When you go to the sauna, the benefits come from the fact that your body is being stressed out by the heat, but at the right dose. If you go too long in a sauna, you might become too dehydrated and you can't recover. Too little is the point of even going at all. You could go to ice cold temperatures or ice cold water, the same effect happens. People tan in the sun because the body is actually trying to resist from the sun. Now, this is the same for oxidative stress. The body tries to resist the intensity that it's going through in order to burn itself, in order to release nutrients from tissue. And over time, the body gains a resistance and becomes stronger. When it becomes stronger, right, then its ability to obtain nutrients and use nutrients becomes more efficient. And the more efficient that you become, the less you actually need food to sustain your energy. By chance, I have something that can really assist and help those who are really interested in achieving that type of state. I have a whole program, and if you want to learn about it, you can just click on the link below to my Patreon, or you can contact me at the information below. If you want to hear more videos and more details of this particular type of method, then please just contact me, send whatever you can to the Patreon, and it'll allow me to keep making videos for you. So I really do appreciate it. Thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.